Love it, love it, love it. Game 5 coming up tonight in G1C. Warriors at Game 4. Boy, Harrison Barnes' shot goes down. We're having an entirely different conversation today. Oh, man. And we're not having it because Harrison Barnes did miss the shot. So we got an even series at 2 games apiece. Warriors and Kings. Will the winner of Game 5 win this series? That's how I feel like today. I really feel like that the winner of tonight's game is going to win this series. But we're going to talk to Matt George, ABC 10 up in Sacramento. Matt Ashlock. Shout out to Matt Ashlock.
I love Ashlock.
I love Ashlock.
One of the best graphic designers I know.
Ever. He said it's really nice for the Morning Roast to bring big Warriors fan Matt George onto the show. And he had a screenshot of his tweet. Can every member of the Golden State Warriors just stay healthy so they can bring a championship to NorCal, please? Oh, that's another tweet.
What?
Oh, that's another tweet.
Read that one again?
Can every member of the Golden State Warriors just stay healthy so they can bring a championship to NorCal, please?
Was that time-stamped?
Boy, 2014.
Oof.
Damn. 2014-15. Damn.
You know what? I'm not mad at that because if the Warriors do get extinguished, a part of me will be rooting for all my buddies that are Sacramento Kings fans.
I will not be rooting for the Kings.
I'll
root for good basketball.
I said a part.
Hop on the bandwagon, Bonte.
Nope, not doing it.
He's going to be
Not
on the
doing it.
LeBron bandwagon.
Nope, not doing
Get
it.
you a Reeves jersey.
It's me and John Ireland,
No, you
and the
know who I
Lakers
root-
have just won another one.
If the Warriors get bounced out,
I'm Bonte Hill. He's John Ireland. We're doing Lakers Live.
Yeah.
Where's Michael Thompson?
James Worthy.
James Worthy, that's who it is. Michael
Robert
Thompson
Horry.
does the...
Michael Thompson's on the radio.
Yeah,
Come
my
on,
bad.
man.
My
Come
bad.
on.
Good
Come
call.
on, Shasky.
Good call.
Come on.
James Worthy. We're smoking cigars.
I'll actually root for the Phoenix Suns to win their first ever NBA championship.
CP3?
Oh, no, I can't root for them.
I'm Kevin Durant. You know who I am.
I'll root for Mike Malone and the Nuggets. That's who I'll root for. Quest for 5,
I
brought to
don't
you by
believe you.
the Alameda PD. Now offering a $75,000 hiring incentive, $75,000 hiring incentive. Our team is your future. Go to alamedapolice.org to apply today. Let's bring in Matt George. ABC 10 up in Sacramento, Locked On Kings podcast. Even though he's a Warrior fan.
Oh, shut up. I knew it.
Wait, what? Did I say something wrong?
No, yes, you absolutely did say something wrong. Good morning, Bonte. Jeffrey's listening. We got to be nice.
Oh, Jeff Hillborn? No, he knows. He told me over the weekend we watched the Tank Davis fight together. He said, you know, my cousin Matt really loved the Warriors. He had like a Chris Webber, Tim Hardaway. Like, you had all the gear, which is all good. It's all good. We don't judge you, Matt. You're doing a great job covering the Kings. We'll get into De'Aaron Fox or
Damn,
whatnot.
Bonte.
What do you
What are you
mean?
doing?
It's all friendly.
What
That's
are you
all Matt
doing?
before Game 3. Matt's not taking it personal.
Bonte, I thought you were smart enough to be able to read a date. If you read a date on a tweet, you'd be able to see 2014 on that well before the Sacramento Kings and Golden State Warriors even knew the other existed. Because until this year, neither's been good at the dang same time. So, excuse me for wanting Northern California basketball before the dynasty started here, and you all turned into the dark evil empire. Excuse me for wanting a little bit of a success for NorCal versus all those snakes down in SoCal.
Nah.
Speaking of the Emperor,
Yeah,
you know,
we have our
let the hate
technical-
consume you, young man.
No doubt. No
Wow.
doubt about that. Now, let's start with Sabonis because you laughed at us all. I got to come down your road for this one. You laughed at us all when we said Looney's going to do the job on Sabonis. How you feeling about Kevon Looney now that we're 4 games into the series?
Hey, no, you know what? It's an appropriate place to start, and I will happily give the roses where it's deserved. Kevon Looney has played very, very well. And look, I covered Kevon Looney when I covered the NBA Finals last year, so I knew that he had talent. I genuinely did not think that the Golden State Warriors had an answer for Domantas Sabonis, and to this point in this series, I've been dead wrong. And the Golden State Warriors are fortunate that I've been dead wrong, because had they not had an answer for him like I thought, this series would have been over in 4 or 5 games based off how Game 1 and Game 2 went. Hey, you can laugh right now.
Hey.
Y'all were melting down 5-6 days ago. There was a complete meltdown in the Bay Area, down 0-2, and suddenly the Golden State Warriors win 2 games, and the narrative
Hey,
has
Matt.
changed from Domantas Sabonis uses the ball as
Hey,
a weapon
you know what?
to we got a little
Hey,
bit of
hey,
swagger
Matt.
back. So I hear you.
Matt
I've been
George.
following anything.
Matt George. The streets are calling Domantas Sabonis Sabogus.
That
was creative. I'm glad that somebody has a creative mind down there to come up with that. I'm sure he's never heard that before. So congratulations.
Hey,
Here's a gold star for wordplay.
Let me just tell you something. So I'm the creator of Panic. Okay, that's kind of like baked into who I am because that's how I consume sports. If you think we were losing our minds after a 2-0 series, you have no idea. Wait till you see Jimmy Garoppolo in an NFC Championship game with us Monday morning.
Did you see, Matt George, did you see me after week one against the Chicago Bears? I called it one of the worst losses in the Shanahan era. It was week one. I said it was an absolute disaster. So that's just what we do here. We don't melt down. We kind of vent, and then we lock in. And we predict. Yeah, exactly.
Well, so let me ask you this. How did Fox look yesterday at practice? Like, I want the honest, was he favoring the finger? Was it wrapped up? Like, how was it wrapped up? Was it affecting the shooting? Because his touch has been unbelievable, all three levels. The guy has been, I think you can make an argument he's the best or second. I mean, he's clearly the second best player at minimum in the series, but you can make an argument he's been the best player on a nightly basis.
Yeah, so I'll be completely honest. I wasn't there at practice in person. I had just gotten back to Sacramento from the Bay and spent a little bit of family time. But my partner was there. He sent me the video, and we saw everything. We saw the angles. So he does have it wrapped up. One of the things that he mentioned in practice is the wrap that he has on currently, or he had on currently, is not going to be the wrap that he plays with because it was the initial wrap that they wrapped his finger on when he had the swelling, and the swelling has since gone down. One of the things he talked about yesterday was that he still is able to feel or touch the ball. Basically, he can feel it on his fingertip, or so it's not like the brace is not keeping him from actually feeling and touching the ball, which is good for his shot and is good for his ball handling. But I mean, I don't think there's any way to look at him having a splint on his finger and say that's not going to have some sort of effect on the way that he plays. I mean, he's just going to have to kind of figure it out and play through it. And he even mentioned as much when he started practice. It was kind of different. He was figuring it out. And by the end of practice, it was fine. So maybe the first quarter is going to be interesting tonight, seeing how he handles it, how he plays on it. He could come out and look like his normal self, or he could come out and maybe his shot is a little bit offline, or his ball handling isn't as sharp, isn't as crisp. So we'll kind of have to wait and see. But even with an 80% De'Aaron Fox playing, I mean, it's significantly better for the Sacramento Kings just because of his presence on the floor, the amount of attention that he draws, how dangerous he is at all times. So you've been absolutely right. He and Steph are jockeying, going back and forth for being the best player in this series. They've been so excellent, going toe-to-toe, and it's really been, to me, exciting for the rest of the league, not just these two teams, because here you have this absolute superstar, the greatest shooter of all time, who's been there, done that, multiple-time MVP, matching up against this younger point guard who's been good. It's just because he's been wearing a Kings jersey, nobody's been paying attention, and a lot of people are finally seeing and watching De'Aaron game in and game out and recognizing what he brings to the table.
Matt George here on Warner Russ on 95.7 The Game, ABC 10 up in Sacramento. Locked On Kings podcast does a great job covering the Sacramento Kings. Steve Kerr's Warriors, I just saw this from Tim Kawakami from The Athletic. The Warriors are 5-0 in series in which they've been tied 2-2, and obviously it's a pivotal Game 5. I believe, Matt, that the winner of this game may win the series, but I want to ask you this. What's been the bigger surprise?
You believe they may or they will?
I said, yeah, they will.
Okay.
I've been saying that all day, right?
No, you said may.
Oh, did I say may? My bad.
No,
they will. I believe Game 5 now. I could be wrong.
I wanted you to land it, Kerry Strug.
Yeah, no doubt. Game 5, the winner of this series, the winner of this game, I believe, will win the series. But, Matt, I want to ask you this. What's been the bigger surprise for you? The struggles of Sabonis or Kevin Huerter's three-point shot? He's 3 of 21 so far from the perimeter.
It's got to be the struggles of Sabonis, simply because Kevin Huerter's not been the only guy to struggle. Like the Kings as a whole, and even the Warriors to some extent, until Game 4, both teams were not shooting the ball well and have not shot the ball well. You talk about two of the best offensive teams in the league coming in, and the defense has been what's won games in this series so far. So Kevin Huerter definitely needs to step up. He needs to be better, and the Kings veterans in general need to be better. I mean, you look at the best players in this series for the Sacramento Kings. It's been De'Aaron Fox. Never played a playoff series before. Malik Monk, never played a playoff series before. At times, Davion Mitchell, never played a playoff series before. And then you have Keegan Murray finally popping off in Game 4, never played in a playoff series before. Meanwhile, you've got guys like Huerter, you got Barnes, you got Sabonis, all guys that have been in the playoffs before who aren't necessarily playing to the level the Sacramento Kings need them to play, and they definitely are going to need to step up. At least two of them are going to need to step up tonight in Game 5, because I agree with you. I mean, historically, winner of Game 5, I think, wins the series like 80% of the
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah.
I feel pretty confident in saying this, and this can show how I can separate from the homer bias a little bit. If the Sacramento Kings lose tonight, I think that they lose the series. I think it's it. So I think the Golden State Warriors might be able to survive losing tonight if they win Game 6 and then have all the pressure of Game 7, which they've been there, done that before. The Kings haven't, so we'll have to wait and see with this. But I'm pretty confident the Kings drop tonight's game at home. They're probably being put to bed in 6 in Golden State, and I have no problem saying that. So the Kings need the veterans in general to step up. But yeah, I've been surprised by Domantas Sabonis' ineffectiveness because he's such a dynamic player, to where not only can he score, but he gets the offense involved so well. And I've been really impressed by the Golden State Warriors, their physical defense and their ability to take away dribble handoffs, which they've done really, really well until Keegan Murray got going in Game 4. So the Kings showed some signs of life with their typical offensive flow that they haven't showed too much this series. If they're able to replicate that in Game 5, I really like their chances tonight. But Sabonis' inability to just get into his offensive flow in general has definitely been a surprise.
Well, what's part of his game that we're not seeing? Because I don't see the post moves. I don't see, you're talking about being dynamic. I just don't, like, he puts the head down and puts the right elbow out and then tries to go up with the left hand. Like, he doesn't finish with both hands. I don't see the creativity. So is there an element that I'm missing or that he hasn't showcased?
Well, a lot of the creativity of Domantas Sabonis comes in his playmaking, not in his necessarily scoring or attacking the basket. He's had multiple games this year where he's scored close to 20 points, and he is only taking 9, 10, 11 shots, and we're like, hey, shoot the ball more. But the reality is every single time Domantas Sabonis has decided to go to the post, put the ball on the floor, and go into the chest of Kevon Looney, that's not the offense of the Sacramento Kings, because one of the pillars of Mike Brown's offense is 0.5, which is make a decision in 0.5 seconds. Shoot, attack, pass, make a decision in 0.5 seconds. So when Domantas Sabonis decides, okay, nothing's working, I'm going to try and back Kevon Looney or Draymond Green down from the elbow to the block and try and score around the rim, that's not the Kings' offense. That's typically, okay, the play is broken at this point. I need to go and get something midway to late in the shot clock. So the reality is the Kings aren't trying to necessarily go for that look, and that's Sabonis just trying to use the raw strength that he has to get enough separation to try and score around the rim. But the element that you're missing that we have not seen in these playoffs to this point is how once the dribble handoff gets going, like Domantas Sabonis can go any way that he wants to, whether it's handing the ball off, it's pick and rolls, rolling to the rim, it's stepping out for the pick and pop, which the Warriors have been more than willing to give him that mid-range jumper, which he hasn't been hitting and he doesn't really look comfortable taking at this point, even though he's been working on it in practice. But Sabonis' ability to even put the ball on the floor and take the ball up the floor and start running the offense in that way has been negated. His confidence just looks shaken a little bit because he hasn't gotten into his rhythm and his flow. And you can say that about a couple of guys on this Kings roster, which I think is a credit to the Warriors' defense. That being said, the Warriors have done a good job limiting some of the top Kings guys, and here we are still even 2-2 and one shot away from the Kings being up 3-1. So I think it's encouraging from the Sacramento Kings standpoint that they still haven't played close to their best basketball, and they're very much still in this series with a chance to go back on top at home tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the Warriors could have been up 3-1 as well with the Wiggins thing. I don't like that. We're 2-2 for a reason. Like, we're here. This is where we're at. Give me the psyche of the Kings fan right now. I mean, take me inside people that are going to be in that arena. Game 1, it got real quiet at times. Game 2, it got real quiet at times. That's any home arena. But in particular tonight, how are they feeling going in there? Because if the Warriors could somehow get a lead in that second half, I can feel it getting real tight. I've been there. I know.
I think there's going to be a mixture of things. One, there's going to be a confidence based off of how the Sacramento Kings have performed so far at home in this series.
Okay.
There's definitely going to be nervousness. Like I tweeted it out. If Kings fan, like, this is a new nervousness for fans again. We're remembering, oh God, a close game and a playoff game where there's so much on the line. Oh, my heart can't take this. So there's going to be weighted blankets and stress balls and things like that for sure. But in addition to that, like, I think there is an energy that is ready to be released, and just like Domantas Sabonis was kind of the forefront of that energy that the Warriors fans released in Game 3 and Game 4. Draymond Green is at the center of that in Game 5 tonight. You're going to hear a reaction to Draymond Green that is going to be significant, and That's just kind of the way it is with the series, and I think it kind of adds a fun element and fun dynamic to this series. So there's a lot of frustration I think the Sacramento Kings fans are ready to release tonight. But at the same time, too, remember, like, this is a position where even though the Kings were up 2-0, and the hope is with the third seed that you win the opening series no matter who the opponent is, the Kings fandom is still just loving being here, and that's not like a participation trophy thing. That's just we're happy to be here, and the fact that this series is going 5. And look, the reality is the Sacramento Kings have shown that they belong. Like, nobody can look at what the Kings are doing in this series and say, okay, the Kings don't belong here. They've had a cute season. It's been fun, but it's a fluke. Here come the champions to put them in their place. So I think Kings fans are also still very much enjoying the ride, and we'll see elements of that celebration still tonight.
Were you surprised to see Draymond Green come off the bench in Game 4?
I was. And, like, we were talking about it before the game, myself and some Kings media members. Like, I give Kerr a lot of credit. I give the Warriors a lot of credit. And I give Draymond a lot of credit for, I mean, I don't know Draymond personally. I wasn't there to see his reaction to hearing that news, but he came in and he had an effective game, scored, 12 points coming in off the bench. I mean, he played well. He was effective. So I give the Warriors credit for making that decision, making that move. I also thought Jordan Poole had a really solid performance as well.
Yeah.
So overall, like, I thought it was the right move. I think it's a move that they absolutely should stick with. I wouldn't say it's the reason why the Warriors won Game 4. I think the Warriors just finally got that shootout performance and made some timely shots, and the Kings didn't. The Kings also shot themselves in the foot 3 different times in the fourth quarter when they could have tied or taken the lead. They turned the ball over, which is why they lost, not because Harrison Barnes missed a shot. But I was very surprised by the move, and I appreciated it from the Warriors, and I think it worked.
Do you now, after 4 games, because we heard a lot of people, it was like, on one end, the battle-tested playoff Warriors, the regular season is irrelevant, right? Like, that's probably what you heard from all of us in terms of people covering the Warriors, the fans, the team themselves. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you had the Kings. All we can go off is the regular season, and we'll see about the playoffs, and this should be transferable to the playoffs, and that's transferable. Now that you've seen 4 games, can we at least meet in the middle? Playoffs are different.
Oh, yeah, we absolutely can meet in the middle. I'm glad you were going to say, glad you said meet in the middle, because I thought you were going to say me come over to your side, and I still would have said you're dead wrong, because with the exception of, Games 3 and Games 4, how they went. Actually, truth be told, the way this series has gone, the regular season kind of told us it was going to go this way based off of how good the Warriors have been at home and how bad they've been on the road. And the only thing that's been different really is the Sacramento Kings winning games based off their ability to win in the trenches of the box score, as I like to call it. And that's an area that I think Kings fans take a lot of confidence in, too, is Game 3 was the only game that they got killed with second chance points, killed on the offensive glass, killed with points off of turnovers. Yeah, exactly. They addressed all of that. That was their focus. That was more their focus than their bad shooting. And they came into Game 4, and they fixed all of those things. They still lost the game, so it's, again, like here's a moral victory participation trophy, but the reality is that where they focused on making adjustments, they fixed. So Mike Brown's focus and his adjustments going into Game 5 are, being more effective in transition, taking smarter shots, and not just attacking the basket and throwing up a shot, hoping to get a foul call from the referees. So I expect that to be fixed and referenced as well. So both teams have shown an incredible ability to make adjustments game in and game out. It's really been a chess match between these two teams and these two coaches, and it's been, there's a reason why it's the most entertaining series so far in the playoffs, and it's not even close, especially when it comes to TV ratings. So we're all winning right now, that's for sure, with the series up 2-2.
Are you surprised how relentless Warrior fans have been on you against you on Twitter? we were a feisty bunch, man.
They're the worst.
Well, I'll say this. Apparently, I've been a Warrior fan since 2014, which is longer than half the fan base. So that's exciting.
Sick bird.
But I've had a lot of fun. It's been a blast. Like coming into this, I asked Steve Kerr the question. I asked Mike Brown the question about NorCal becoming a rivalry, and both of them said it's not a rivalry yet. I don't know if it can be classified as a rivalry even or at this point right now. But I think it's great for Northern California basketball. I think there are bad, obnoxious, annoying fans in every single fan base, and certainly in Kings fandom too. I've clashed with them. I think the only thing that's ridiculous, the only thing that I haven't liked is this. We've seen videos of fights happening at watch parties. We've seen videos of fights outside the Chase Center. That's just stupid. It looks bad for everybody. I don't care who said what. I don't care who threw the first punch. It's stupid. It's ridiculous, and we can be better than that, and we can get beyond that. But, hey, talk your trash. Have your fun. The reality is both fan bases have been right and wrong about many different things. And this series has just been a lot of fun. I think both teams are doing enough for both fan bases to be proud
You're being
of.
too nice. You're being too nice. Who wins tonight?
I think Kings win tonight. Personally, I do think Sacramento Kings win tonight, and I think the home court continues. I think the Kings know that they absolutely 100% have to win tonight. I'm very interested about the first 12 minutes of this game, though. One, because of De'Aaron Fox, how he's going to look and how he's going to play, and two, because the Golden State Warriors are coming into this game with the momentum, and they know the significance of winning this game and having an opportunity to put the Kings to bed on their home floor in Game 6. So I think the start of this game is going to be very, very interesting, too.
Matt George, everybody, ABC 10 up in Sacramento. Be careful on Twitter. Locked On Kings podcast as well.
Thank you for having fun.
Best of luck. Yeah, thank you for having fun. Tell Jeff we said hi. Jeff was
No,
talking
don't
that
tell
talk.
Jeff we said hi. He's talking smack about you, man.
No, he should be talking smack to Matt
no,
George.
No.
It's all good. We're all friends
Smack
after
up
the
your
series.
cousin.
But right now, Matt, we're enemies. We don't like you.
You know what? That's okay. I can live with that.
All right, Matt. You're a good sport. You're a good sport. You know you are. It's good to see you at Chase Center. Hopefully see you Friday night at Chase Center for game number 6, and we'll see who's up in the series. Matt George, everybody. Good stuff there.
Series. You are on your bag this week.
I mean, come